Yeah, so I don't know. This could be like a really shorter, really simple video. I guess it's me talking about me ranking all those Seven Deadly Sins characters, except there's not everyone here because I don't know. I don't really care too much about them. Um, a lot of them. I think the top 10 are really what I care about, and I've made a completely different video on that. I think there should be annotation or just leave the link in the description. And yeah, it's mostly more simply, and it's going to be me more like trashing on them on yeah, actually a lot of them, and also on the people that like them as well, because why not? So yeah, some people that don't care, kind of don't care. Actually, I don't care. I don't care a lot about people. His ability was pretty cool, so I'll put him here. Like this is like 1 through 10, and like slightly more, but not enough to be like whatever. Like yeah, he kind of sucks. um, he could be cool, but I don't know. Do a lot like the movie. These characters actually were kind of really bad. I'm not gonna lie. There's like maybe like one people I found interesting. Her ability was kind of cool. I'll say that. There's not much to say about it. Actually, I have like one or two things. I think though his magic was pretty cool, but again, he doesn't really contribute much to anything. Um, yeah, don't care. Jesus, so much character actually didn't do didn't do shit. Um, I think these characters are kind of in the same tier in terms of yeah. They're like maybe he'll be at the end. He was okay. He used a bow and arrow, pretty cool. Um, good looks. Uh, honestly, I don't know. I actually didn't really like her either. Not only that, I don't care about him. Also, yeah, don't care and overrated. Overrated him actually might be lower for some characters. It's just that don't care. I can just like throw everyone in there. Dude, I have no idea what this guy is. Also, yeah, good looks. Um, same as him. His ability, I think, was invisibility. It's actually pretty cool, but he doesn't contribute much. So, uh, maybe here. Um, really cool in season one. I thought Grey Demons are really cool, but then as the series goes on, they're like worthless. So maybe here. Um, uh, I think is there any more characters I don't care? There's nothing, nothing, nothing. I don't remember this. I saw it pretty like chapter one or something. Fuck, I don't know. She actually does nothing. This character actually does nothing, but like she was like really strong. Um, maybe the second coolest or third coolest out of the game. I don't know. It's not much to say. Hat potential would be really cool. I'm gonna lie. I actually thought this character would be super cool, but like she just got like immediately just like jumped so maybe at the top. Like her puzzle ability. I think the one she creates a maze and traps people are pretty cool. Oh yeah. Good luck. Honestly, not really much to say about it. It's either here or here, but I guess good looks here. Yeah, whatever. These guys don't do anything. Actually, maybe one or two good things I'll say with this guy. I thought that he looks like a warrior or something. Red demons. Honestly, maybe same as Grey demons, but just slightly worse because obviously what happens. This guy has like maracas or attack, but he didn't really do anything. So maybe somewhere at the top. Um, it's already here him. I don't know. I don't really care about these. They didn't contribute to like anything to make at least to me care about it. Who the fuck is this guy? um, no. God damn, a lot of these characters are fucking like. There's nothing really good. Like, there's nothing to say about them. This Honda was whatever. Um, Hawk might be. I don't know. He could have been really cool as well, but he wasn't. Wild was just way better, like easily. Maybe something like this. I don't know. It's not gonna make a big difference. I don't know if Wild is on here. Oh, he's not. That's weird because I actually have him in my top 10. So Okay, so I think I'll do like these two. Chandler Cusack are actually pretty cool. The original Demon sucks as a character. He's actually really strong. I think Prime Original Demon might be like top 5 in the series, or at least they can't find a lot of people in top 5. Um, Chandler Chandler is really cool in terms of like his entrance. He was very scary. He was like Yandere. Kusan was like a slightly better parent, but like he cared about Zodus, but like they were kind of like conditioned to do that. So up to you think that he actually cared about him or not is up to you. But I would say that Chandler is slightly cool because his entrance was like so much crazier. Um, really, he actually has, I actually think his attack was pretty cool in season one. Like his bow, that like the it's kind of like illusion. I actually think that it might be like if they don't break the bow, it might have been like way better than it seems. Fuck. Oh shit, it's really small. But uh, just in just it was whatever in like early on. Maybe he's like here, but in the sequel, I really like him. I think he's really funny, but he's might be here. He doesn't do much, but I guess he's kind of cool. Uh, God damn. At the bottom, I think like he's like too influential to say not care about him, but he was at a time that like I don't know say, but like because I think after chapter 300, the series gets really bad. Like all the problems that it had before, it just piles up, and then like it kind of like accumulates, and it just like blows the fuck up, and then like everything went bad, and like Calf is like part of like one of the bigger examples of like yeah he's like a really big part of it. It's not necessarily his fault. He could have been better, but yeah, I think him eating things and that puzzle was kind of interesting, but it could have been done way better. Arthur is in the sequel. I think that he has really good potential to be like the best character in the series, but right now he's gonna be like over here or at the bottom. I'll say here. He's like he's like in the sequel he's like the villain, but like uh the thing of thinking is like how much chaos contributes for him to think like this, and the other part is like like for like most villains, a backstory is just in a chapter, right? For Arthur is like continuous, and I think like I think I did talk about it. I don't know if I did a great job, but I kind of just like kind of went over and say like he's really bad, but like a lot of people made him like this, and like he should still be like responsible for the stuff he did, but like same for other people as well. Um, oh my god, Elaine is such a honestly, I think she actually might be one of the worst characters in the series so for screen time. I don't know if she'll put her here, but I think like I don't think she's overrated, but she's actually not like good at all as a character. Like she has so many screen time, and her position was spawned is like the most boring shit ever. Like I actually can't believe. Oh, you know, I'm just gonna remove this or whatever. Let's keep this here for now. Grey Road was fuck. Honestly, maybe here. Like she's like one of those really weird characters. Oh, it's she by the way, but it's kind of like some bees. Like they have like a queen and then they protect her or something. Honestly, like even people like to say that with commitment, she's like extremely powerful, unstoppable, and says like she's useless with it. She's actually decent without commitments. Like she has power to like trap you, and then like Greywolf can just like kind of reproduce itself and just make more reroads. It's just really annoying. But then when she gets that commitment, she becomes like nearly unstoppable. That's like really makes her change. Um, Kill Thunder is he was really well. He was really good in the first half. I don't know about the other parts. Fuck. He might be like here. Yeah, here. I don't know. He's a pretty big disappointment, I think, and it's like not really his fault. This guy was okay. I don't have anything to really say about him. Like I don't have anything really good to say about him or anything really bad to say about him. There's some characters that like I think are fan favorite. People are going to be really upset about what I say about him. Um, she's okay. Um, yeah, actually, I'll put her here. She's actually pretty cool. She just doesn't have the power to make her like relevant, fortunately. Um, I forgot. I always forget she exists. It's funny because like I think in the war she was completely worthless. Like Margaret became a vessel, and then her sister was like adopted, and like yeah, she was like she had like the 3 days limit, even though that shit lasted for like forever. So yeah, like I actually don't care. I don't think she even did anything like remotely Marco Weatherby and like fuck what's his name? This guy's wife. But he has no not a lot of things that good or bad to say about him. He was just kind of there, at least for me. Fuck. He's okay. Like maybe here. Not sure. Not a big difference. I don't think there's anything really to say about Margaret because even with Vessel form, it was real. So that like actually made the character for obvious reasons. Jericho's fucking here. Like I think she's one of those characters that like people would act like she has the best personality or whatever, but like people like if she looked like okay, I'll say this: if she looked like Grey no one like her fans would drop by 95% easily. Well, honestly, maybe 99. Like people would just not care about her, but like people act like her personality is like crazy. Like obviously, like humans look for like for looks, like obviously, but people would act, but like you only care about personality in the first place because you look at her looks and their personality, which is like scientifically proven, but like people won't admit it. I mean, they will, but like they'll say, "Oh, her personality also makes her attackable," but that's like not true. And like, yeah, I think the sequel people might have put her like here now, but like for me, like I'll say the sequel. I don't want to say it didn't make her any worse, but like, no, to me, she wasn't any better in the first place. So whatever. Okay, before I had like a own tier for Vivian, but now I not now I rethink about it. She's like very talented, but like she's so crazy that you forget that she's talented. Like she could like she's like she's like a watered down Merlin, but like Merlin is so good, like in terms of like as a person to have her team that like she looks useless, but like she's not. She's still very good if you just consider her an individual character. Um, Merlin is fucking weird. I don't know. Maybe before I had a bomb, but like maybe like somewhere in the middle here. I don't know. She's like very broken. I think that's like my problem. I feel like she's like she kind of exists as like a plot hole. Well, not plot hole. She's like the person that exists as like, hey, it's not a really plot hole if Merlin knew about it. That's like my biggest problem with the character. She's she's kind of cool, I guess. Like not as a person though. Like she'll probably experiment on you. That's not good. But mm, maybe here. I'm not sure. I feel like she could be anywhere on the list and like on any day, and I'll be oh that makes sense. Fuck. Dreyfus was okay actually. I actually think his willpower ability was pretty cool, but like he never really used it. This guy, I'll put him to the upper. He's like he's kind of like Hashirama personality, and like I was like, how can I not like this guy right after? Maybe I'll put Grill to bottom looked out. Grill just didn't have a personality. It got like straight up like massively wasted. Actually, this is probably my favorite person. I mean, as a favorite female character in the series. But the sequel, I don't like her demon form. I'll say that much. Um, yeah, maybe here. Like she just like she actually appears in one chapter. It's not even a joke. She actually just appeared in one chapter and that's it. But it was like it's like one of those like it's like a really small present, but then you wrap it really neatly and you're just like, oh, that's a nice present. But like there's nothing a lot in that present at all. It just like it's just one chapter. That's it. Um, I have no idea what the fuck this guy did. I know like he was on like some Denzel team or some shit. Actually, no, he was either that or the Slater King. So probably here. Ice Power is pretty cool, but then like he gave it to Jericho and then he like, died and then she didn't do shit with it. So honestly, maybe here. Not sure. Um, honestly, I actually like him more than I admit. Even though I fucking make fun of him all the time. His character is still messed up though. Probably like top 10 messed up characters because he fucking killed over 500 years, but his ability, Blind Follow, and Link was pretty cool. If it didn't have a limit, he might be like one of the strongest character. So I think that's worth considering. Hauser is easily the most interesting of the trio, like straight up. There's like almost like no debate because like he actually ended up being pretty fucking cool. I'll put him here. It's either at the bottom here or the top. Honestly, probably would come put him over because you kind of see him grow as a character. He's just like he, he's like a fucking normie, and then he becomes like he actually gets pretty good. Fuck. I don't know if I should put. I don't know. I don't really care about the Supreme Deity. Like, is there Demon King here? There's not. What the fuck? Maybe he was. I just put him here. But like Supreme Deity and Demon King just fucking suck as a character. I'll say that much. Demon King was a bit cooler because he actually looked smart, but then afterwards it looked really bad. Hendrickson is like maybe same. I don't know. I thought Dreyfus was cooler than Hendrickson, but Hendrickson actually does have his own set of things. Maybe. Actually, no, Hendrickson's a bit cooler. It's a not by a lot. I'll probably switch him any day of the week, but like just keeps like 1-2 and then 2-1. Just keep switching. Twigo was actually pretty cool. I feel like I really didn't like this character because of like people like saying Lord Twigo for like fucking forever. But then I thought like this guy was like terrifying, honestly. And then it showed up Meliodas was even like much more terrifying than him. Slater is actually pretty fucking cool. He's not overpowered though. Let's say he's like here probably. I think this is either the kid. I think this is like the like the kid they like bought and feed when like he was going to like the village of dead people or something. So maybe like I cannot say he's more interesting than like Surfer Unity, but he was there. He didn't maybe here honestly. Also, it's actually pretty fucking cool. Not cool, but like he was more interesting than he should be. I'll say that. Was weird occasional draw not draw fucking Rao or Ru whatever that guy that like that guy. But then yeah, I don't know. He was more interesting than he should be, and then he died. So it's cool. Okay, I think I actually start with like should I start in order? So I think wait a second. There's only one of these. There should be two of them. I think that her older sister was her other sister was more interesting, but she's okay. She doesn't really do anything. Let's get rid of characters I don't really give a shit about. Honestly kind of don't care. Maybe like here. I care about her a little bit more than some of these characters, but not enough to be like that. Diane she's actually fine as a character. Well, no, she's a better person than that character. I'll say that. Her backstory was boring. She's like naive, but then I think a lot of times they made her more stupid than naive, and that's like kind of frustrating at times. That's what I'll say. I'll do King immediately after. I think King he's a like you wouldn't want a King person in your life. Like actually she should do stop there just to have a lot of not good things to say about him. The first bowl he had a shit ton of votes, which I actually don't understand. In terms of Japan, like also it's funny because like people fucking hated Gopher when he showed up. I'm pretty sure people got death threats. I don't know how common it was, but it was not good. But then I think it was Gopher third, Bond second, and then King first, and he won with like 100,000 votes. I think Gopher only had like 10,000, like 6,000, but like season one he was a savage. I'll say that it's pretty cool. But then a lot of times like he just gets angry and then like he like fucks a lot of shit up. I think he's gotten better, but like I think like he's really emotionally weak, and honestly, I think that he and Dian are probably the most emotionally weak person out of the Sins, and that's crazy because Dian's kind of like the derpy person. She's still a nice person, but like it's kind of frustrating at times. So I think for okay, I'll do Zedrius whatever. No, Honestly, as time goes on, I feel like I like him more and more. But there's some good things about him, like um actually pretty strong, almost top 10 in terms of like fighting. He might be top 10 because of the movie, but that movie doesn't fucking make sense at all in terms of power scaling. So if you want to consider movie, then sure. He actually doesn't fuck around, so that's pretty good as a fighter. Because like I think it's really frustrating when some characters fuck around, and that includes Meldos and Rudesu. Like these guys, like if they fight, it'll be like the biggest Mexican standoff of who fucks around the most. Um, Gelda was actually pretty fucking cool. I think Gelda made him better by about a good amount because that arc that he fights at the beginning was fucking boring. Ominous Nebula was pretty cool. Uh, yeah, and probably he's actually probably kind of nice to his demon clansmate, but he wasn't so nice to everyone else. Like he's the executioner, and I think that really speaks for itself. He's not a good person. Like people will have to stop that. Like in terms of bad person, I would say like top six. I think one and two is reserved for Demon King and Supreme Deity. I think third is Meldas. Fourth is Rudisil. Fifth and sixth are Mal and Zeldris. And I think the older brothers are both worse than their younger brothers. Like like that. I think if you put Mal fifth or sixth and then switch Zeldris, I wouldn't be too mad about it. But yeah, he's still a really bad person. I just think like he's still better as brother than because his brother was that bad. Um, Actually, speaking of brother, I'll put him fucking here. I'm really not a big fan of, to be honest. But there's some good things and I just think there's a lot of bad things because he's a really awful person, straight up. Like I consider him third worst person, even worse than this guy. And I like this guy is not a nice person. He's still like very bad. So he just killed everyone before falling off, and even after he did, um what's it called? Like before he left, he actually just killed two of the commandments like straight up, like right away. And in season one, he had no problem killing the Holy Knight, so he's still really messed up. There's a lot of things to say about it. But people will say like he's a hero, he's changed, so like he should be let go now. But like, does that mean everyone that like did bad things as bad as him should be let go? And I don't think whatever. Okay, so I think the thing of me like talking about people doing bad things is that if you do something really bad, I should always be remembered by it. Like it doesn't matter how many things you do, it should always be on your track record. That's my opinion. Maybe yours will differ because like I mean it's a fiction, so like who the fuck actually cares? Um, but yeah, that's what I think. And the more I look at, the more I like kind of don't like him as a person. Like yeah, I'm not sure, but still a really bad person. I think that's like my point. Saru and Tarmir are okay actually. They're like put him fuck because it's I have the score down a fuck ton. So I'll just put him here for now and then just move him up. Maybe something like this. Maybe this makes more sense because Gale was just looks for me. But she's actually pretty cool season one, I'm not gonna lie. Sario is like slightly better than Tormio, I guess. At least most people say that. Then I can see why. Like Sario, even without Tormio letting Mal go, which actually makes sense because he had the reason. It wasn't like Darius' reason, which is like no reason. He also like kind of stood up against Protoss, and most of the time I feel like Tormio just follows Sario. And I think like Darius is kind of similar to King in the end. Like King is similar to like Sario. And then actually kind of funny, I think the design's like that, and then the end is kind of similar to Tormio. Not in like a romantic way though. Hopefully, I think they're kind of like he kind of falls in most of the time, but then Sarah's got like the one with the he's like the one calling the shots. I love both of them. Um, fuck, what should I do? I'll do Monsweet first. Monsweet's a lot easier to talk about. Actually, I put him on top 10, and then Derry is like fucking really overrated. So it's probably really bad that I do like this because their legacy are very similar actually. But I think I'll say this: Mondspeed life would have been easier if Derry didn't exist because I think she constantly held him back. I think that's my biggest issue, and I think like her decision that actually got him killed. It pisses me the fuck like almost like people will shit on Tommy all the time, but then I think like not I think her doing was actually just way worse. I think at this actually. Um, I don't remember. I think that'd be 260s because I think 265 is like when they fought or something. Or whatever. Okay, so I think this is like I think I just watched it a while back. Okay, so like he like trying to leaves or some shit, and then like oh yeah. Also, you feel bad. Remember this. These are like your two top tier commandments, and they couldn't protect a random village girl. So like yeah, it's cool. So like over here, like he literally just dips her in one panel, right? And then like a lot later, like she had like no reason. Okay, it's not. So here, oh my god, I was longer. And they talk about him being fucking weird and stuff. Like she had no reason to do this. Like it makes no sense. And she also calls him a bird brain. So and surprisingly, she is the bird brain. Like why would you walk towards him? Like he kicked your ass in like a panel like 10 panels ago. Piss me the fuck off. And I think she's like the same case of like Jericho. Like no one fucking gave a shit. And people would be pissed at her if she wasn't like good looking or whatever. Like if she looked like Greywood, no one liked her. Well, like most of it. And I think like her redemption felt pretty fucking forced. Yeah, I feel like they just had to make her put like fucking path or some shit. I don't know. Um, I'll do this like this because I have to drag it way up. Glossina is actually really underrated as a character. Joel is fuck. I feel bad for putting this low. They shouldn't be this big of a gap. So my reasoning is that Gloxina was actually pretty. He's like one of the redemption characters that actually makes sense and was actually like wasn't like fucking oversaturated. So his character was him doing bad mistakes and then it spiral all the way down. Like it's like flush out and then that shit just goes down the drain. And then he made one decision after another. Still a pretty bad person though, because he made a tournament of people killing each other wanted to just take their souls and lie to them. But yeah, and like the fight that they showed up at the end, it wasn't like suddenly they just like won against Chandler. In fact, it lasted like seconds and probably stronger than they're given credit for. They actually did pretty well in the battle. It's just that like Chandler just fucking immediately regenerated, so they do shit. Joel's problem is honestly, if Coxie didn't exist, Joel would probably he's like overshadowed. I'll say that because like Coxie is more expressive and or more funny. I think people think he's like a femboy or some shit, but Joel's pretty cool. I'll say that. His problem is that Luxian exists and Luxian just sticks on the spotlight. But honestly, probably like the greatest friendship in the series, like easily. People will like to say Bond and Meliodas, and like the difference is that Bond and Meliodas had to kind of worked because the relationship in the season wasn't like perfect. Like he tried to kill him, but then Garcia and Drove are like BFFs for life. Same for Sora and Tormio. Um, yeah, maybe I'll do the Sora. This makes more sense. Bond's pretty good, but I think out of like a lot of people, I put him pretty fucking low. I don't remember I had him. I think I have him. No, I have. I think I have Wild 9. Wild is really fucking cool. So imagine this guy but fucking purple. So like Wild is pretty fucking cool. Honestly, yeah, it's actually not there. He doesn't. He actually doesn't do. He doesn't do a lot of shit. He actually loses a fuck ton. But I think Wild's like top 15. But yeah, his personality is like okay. Like he just does. He just doesn't have anything bad that like he doesn't have a lot of things that just make him like terrible. So you can't really say that he's plays like bad because he didn't have enough chapters to be could be horrible. He's very cool. I guess I think Wild's like top 15, but maybe in the top 10. Pan is like fuck. I don't say this. He's like a really good friend, and like he's like probably smarter people give him credit for. He's just like pretty. Honestly, everything he has is actually pretty good. I'll say the bad things. His and Lane Fish fucking suck. Like it's actually really fucking boring. And like his relationship with us is also like really good, but then his relationship with the Sins kind of like were like non-existent. Him and King feel like they don't fucking know each other most of the time, and like and King like doesn't talk shit to Elaine too. It's really fucking weird. Yeah, and Matcha is honestly he shouldn't be that high, but I have him really fucking high up. He's like a really nice guy. That's it. Like he's probably one of the guys that had like the most like best stuff thing happen to him, and he's just really nice. Also, Virgil's pretty cool. He's like stronger than people expect, but like not strong enough to change anything. Um, maybe I'll just do 2 and 1, whatever. Yeah, I think I'll do like this because I don't think they're really separable or enough info to say that. Especially for Goddess. Goddess was really cool. I think like she's like how do you say like she wasn't like overpowered, but she was trying to do things, and then she was actually just more than talking, and like she even stood up to like Rudeso, which I think is really respectable, and like probably honestly Rudeso and Elizabeth Moore has the best like interesting interactions, but people won't talk about it because they fucking hate Rudeso, and it's like it's not really like a good versus bad thing. It's more like one being naive and the other being realistic, which I think is pretty interesting. Um, actually, still pretty strong. She should be top 10, but then no one knows how strong she is actually because she gets fucking snubbed. Elizabeth season 1 was actually pretty cool. The part where she bites the bell off, like the she grabs the bell and just like bites it out. The illusion was pretty fucking cool, and I think the when she was made leader, she actually feels like a leader. Like she was being put on the spot, but she actually thinks that she was pretty good. So it's true like she had more than just power to just show that like she wanted to stop the war, which I think is really respectable. But it like she kind of just faded away from there on. I have a lot of things to say about Sooner, honestly. Maybe he even maybe here. I don't know. So there's good things to say about him, at least for me. Maybe I mean people usually just put him fucking top. He like his side remind me of like Itachi from Naruto. It's like even when people don't watch the show, they'll be like, "Oh, this guy's really fucking cool," which he is. He's still pretty cool, but I think Sunshine was pretty fucking like boring as a grace, and he didn't make it cool, and it's not really his fault. You know what? Honestly, if Sunshine exists as a grace, I'll put him higher and then drop Sunshine fuck ton lower. I just think Sunshine really killed his and Miles' character, in my opinion. Like I feel, I don't know. I'll say that he's a better person than their character. He's actually a pretty nice guy. Um, like him and Gopher's relationship friendship was actually like one of the better ones, but people don't want to talk about it because some people don't like Gopher and they will just not talk about it. Him talking Rudiso was actually pretty funny too, but it's the same thing with Gopher except more people like Rudiso. Because it was like two really arrogant people just arguing with each other, which I thought was pretty funny. Um, yeah, I just think Sunshine being a Grace really killed him because like without it, he's like the worst like fighter in this series, probably like recorded, and then like suddenly he becomes like fucking top 10, and like yeah, I don't know. There's like I think like obviously the final battle is like why is he in the final battle? Like yeah, I know like they say like he uses life force, but then if you see him versus Indra, he was like fucking he was like dead. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where the panel is, but I think like it's like it's like 313 or some shit. It's like for the 310s. I'll try and find it if I can. I'll just give it up. Is it this one? I don't know. But like there's like the part of like you see him. Okay, it's for 316, whatever. But like I don't know. I think him sharing a grace really fucks him up because like oh sorry this chapter too because like he had to fight an Indra. So him already fighting Indra is already kind of insane. But like he already did so many interesting shit stuff like no one like it was like expected. So like okay, he's like this, right? Like he's like this. And then like wow, he loses his fucking arm. He is like this. And like you're telling me this guy uses his life force is able to fight the Demon King. Like what the fuck? I know, yeah, Mao to heal him. So like indirectly, it's like you can say that it's either a crazy bullshit or like this is actually a Miles feat, which is crazy because he's like a DPS fighter, but whatever. Not bad things. I don't have a lot of feelings to say Escanor, but he's a better person than Kehrer. I'll say that. Um, so far what I did Esteros and Mile type per second because it's kind of like they're kind of like inseparable pieces. They're the same person. Esteros is really hype. I think like even if you hated him, like he kind of like made his own storyline, which I think is pretty fucking interesting. But people don't like Mile because of like there's like the reason of like um he had to fight with Escanor for the grace, and that kind of killed both characters and didn't help anyone. And yeah, he doesn't really participate, and then like he has the worst reasoning. But like people gotta understand that like just because you have the power for it doesn't mean you want to do it. Like like I don't know. I think people are fucking stupid. Like okay, so when he like got out of that thing, so the sins actually messed him pretty bad. Like people, but people notice, but they will like pretend like oh, just a small thing. So the Gopher literally messed up his life. King literally beat him up, and then Malice is literally taking Elizabeth away, and people like you know that how he feels about Elizabeth, and then Elizabeth tells him like, hey, you should like I know you have a romantic interest in me, but you should help me so I can get my husband back. Like what the fuck? Like it's such an easy way to say like it's a easily a no. Like what the fuck would we do that? But I'll say this: he was nerfed pretty bad in the movie. Someone made him worse. Like, I don't know why. Like the movie Pouch Game Party one of those. Like it feels like fucking like crowdfunded by like Zelda's fans. But I'll say this. Like honestly, he's a really weird character. I think he was like over nerfed and over buff actually because he honestly should have died after taking the Four Commandments. Like it was hinting for a long time too. But if Escanor was living after taking a grace for like fucking decades, and like I guess like and because like he should have died after Four Commandments. He shows up, he looks like he's like completely fucking fine, which is crazy. He blows up the original demon and then he just leaves. So whatever. I think he's actually a really good character study too. He's like the character that like it's like you have to like try and understand from a different perspective because he was brainwashed and then like being told for so long in this own like fuck what chamber is it called? Echo chamber, yeah. He's like put in his own echo chamber for like centuries actually. And then when he got pulled out, he got awakened. It's like fucking real life people, especially politics. Like people, especially when it be like people like 40s or 50s in politics, they won't believe facts. They just believe the thing that we believe in 40 years, like 40 years, because that's all they have. Like like they don't have anything else other than just the same belief they have 40 years. Um, fuck. I don't remember where I had. I probably had him here. Barton's really smart, but I think like he's actually. I think like it's kind of my problem because I kind of started out of like, oh, this guy's actually pretty fucking impactful and actually pretty smart. And then like now I think I made it that like everyone thinks that he's like top 10 smart, which is he might be top 10 smart, but I think out of intelligence I'll put Mosby number one, Malscott and Frodja interchangeable, and everyone else in the tank elements are like interchangeable as well. Like I think like he's smart, but then his caution, like he's like very careful, is actually what puts him further. And Haruka, I think like Frodja's like he's like really he's pretty smart, but then he actually shows it. Mostly he's like he should be smart, but you never fucking know. And also he has some really weird decisions as well. So I think that's a difference. Also probably pretty decent character closer. He was still a bad person. Like he just showed that he cared about the people that he cared about. Doesn't say he go 180 becomes a good person. That's it. Um, really funny, honestly. Probably really high, but I thought he was really funny. He just didn't give a shit. Like he was so old and then like when Oscar appeared, people will say like, oh my god, this guy's so powerful. He beat the shit out of them. which is true, which is what happened. But then like he got so wasted and he was lying on the fucking ground, and then like he fights him immediately after. So let let's just say that he will probably do better if he gave a shit, but he didn't, and that's okay. Because in the Holy War, he grabbed like I think it was one of like their arcs, and he threw it back at them since he didn't give a shit. Uh, hmm. Honestly, I'm about to like in terms of characters, I'll probably switch her with Soldiers any second now. Most people like her for looks, which is understandable. Again, because most people just give a shit about that. But honestly, she's very scary. I think like her and Greywood are like the scariest people. Like if you put them in the same strength tier, Poison is very good. Um, her ability to could bring back dead people, really smart. I think she could be top 10 smartest person. Um, yeah, and commandments. If we don't include Manoas, I actually think Manoas is really smart too. But he just asks, I just acts fucking oblivious, but he wasn't in the commandments at the time. He's pretty analytical. She messes around, but just not as bad as this guy. Um, and like her fight against the Sin showed out like she lost like her jaw or something. She lost like 6 hearts, and she was still doing pretty fucking good. So yeah, I think it's a testament to like her power level doesn't really speak to how scary she actually is as a fighter, which I think is pretty respectable. And she was never redeemed, which I kind of like because like you don't have to redeem every fucking character. Oh boy, this character is gonna get a lot of things. I have third. Yeah, boy, let's look at like the right order. I'm not sure. I think it was either this or that. And then like Wild is like knife. Ursul's a really interesting character. He's still a terrible person though. I have him fourth worst person because like he was leading on war, but like it's a war, so like what the fuck are you expecting? Really complex. I just think people didn't want to understand the character because they just didn't like the character, which makes a lot of sense because like I think most of the time when you understand a character, you end up liking the character, but that's not really equivalent. Like you can't understand a character and still hate them. So yeah, already made a video talk about him, so I guess he's like a lot more than just good or bad stuff. It's more like you have to do the shit because it's a war and you're military general. Like like every second changes your decision to a good one to a bad one or a bad one to a good one. A lot of it. Um, so originally I didn't like this, but then whatever. Okay, I'll talk real fast. He's like maybe top 10 in the series, but honestly I don't think I think like yeah maybe I think like his spell is pretty fucking overrated. Like it's still very good, but once you doubt that shit, it just falls apart. It's like fucking Indra. People think Indra is like godlike, but like it's not that good. It's still very good, but it's not that good. Like people like would say like, oh, it beat like the archangels, yeah, but like they're not that strong. Like the duel is like they're like solid. They're not that strong. And then Rudiso just fucks around. Like he's so cocky. Like honestly, most of the fight he lost with was because he was cocky, and it was really frustrating. Because his first 10 chapters was really good, and then the next like 90 chapters was him just talking shit and losing. It was really frustrating to see because it doesn't make anyone better. Like it's like if you have a new power that just beats a person that talks shit and doesn't fight back, then like then like is it really that good? But yeah, I think Gopher. I'll say Gopher and Bond have the best like development now of adolescents, and I don't think it's real debate. You only debate it because you're like you think you like have to live in illusion. I think like data characters are better, but if you look at facts, Bond and Gopher is just way better. People would agree for Bond because they like the character. People wouldn't agree for Gopher because some people don't like him, and that's okay. I don't think I think Gopher he's still kind of weird though. Like season one, like he was like a fucking mental silent patient, and season two as well. But I think like he's like the character that he really like probably one of the best with development in the series by far. Like he's still like even though meta, he has like the one of the bigger developments. Even though I want to say best one, and like probably one person that actually became friends with a sense. I don't know. I think that all these characters, like I think these two and like these two I consider them to be complex, but then Wilford was like, I just want to see him to be happy because like he went through quite a bit. Not that he's good though. He still does a lot of weird shit. I think that's it. Yeah, then